Welcome once again to Immigration Update on the Air. And today we are joined by immigration expert for over 40 years now, Attorney Jack Golan, whose offices are located at 1 Park Plaza, 3250 Wilshire Boulevard in Los Angeles, and that's zip code 90010. If you were to call him for a free initial consultation, call him 213-383-3222. Welcome once again, Attorney Jack Golan, to Immigration Update on the Air.
As always.
Thank you so much for your time, Attorney Jack Golan. Well, as our viewers know, there have been so many issues of general concern, especially national security. And so this is one of the purposes why we're putting on the air an immigration expert who's been with us on Immigration Update on the Air for many years now. And he's had many years of challenging experiences on immigration law. Attorney Golan, recently there had been so much news about focusing on tightening restrictions and examining the fiancé visa. First and foremost, for the information of our listeners and viewers, what are the requirements of the fiancé visa as of now?
As of now, the requirements for a K-1 visa are pretty simple. It is necessary to show that the petitioner, the American citizen petitioner, is free to marry, which means that he or she is not married to anybody else. Secondly, it is necessary to show that the beneficiary in the foreign country is also free to marry in the United States, which means it is possible that the beneficiary in his country or in her country is not free to marry, but since the marriage is supposed to take place in the United States, then the legal issue is whether the beneficiary is free to marry in the United States. The next requirement is that there is a real intention to get married. It is necessary to convince the American consul that the beneficiary really intends to marry the petitioner. And if this is accomplished, then the beneficiary will get a 90-day visa, a K-1 visa valid for 90 days. And during those 90 days, the beneficiary must marry the petitioner in the United States. If after this marriage, the beneficiary may file an application for adjustment of status and obtain his or her green card. What is required at the time of filing this application is that the beneficiary shows that the marriage took place within 90 days after arrival in the United States, and the petitioner is also providing an affidavit of support as required for all other applicants. Of course, in addition to all this, it is also necessary to show that the beneficiary passed the necessary checks, like criminal checks and security checks, and that the beneficiary also passed the necessary medical exam. Those are all the requirements, and as far as we have experience with beneficiaries from the Philippines, the American Embassy in Manila is very strict in executing all those checks.
Mm-hmm. Attorney Golan, is it a requirement also for the petitioner and the beneficiary to have met during the time or even before the application process?
It is necessary to show that they have met in person at least once during the 2 years immediately before filing the petition. In most cases, this means that the petitioner must take a trip to the country where the beneficiary is located and spend some time with the beneficiary. This must happen at least once during the 2 years immediately before filing the petition.
Mm-hmm. What about evidence? Is it then important for the beneficiary to be able to, or even the petitioner, to compile records of their letters, records of their phone calls, their emails, their text messages, and many other things.
This has to do with the requirement to establish a real intention to get married, and the more evidence of the communications and contacts during the time before filing the petition, the more evidence of this nature, the better it is.
Mm-hmm. Attorney Golan, normally how long does this process take before the fiancé visa or K-1 visa is granted?
Normally, it would take probably about 1 year because there are about 3 steps that needs to be accomplished. Step number 1 would be a petition with U.S. Citizen and Immigration Services, what we call CIS, in the United States. CIS needs to receive the petition, review it, and approve it. Then the petition goes to the National Visa Center, which is a branch of the Department of State, and they spend 2-3 months in reviewing all the papers. And then all this goes to the American consulate in the country where the beneficiary resides. And again, in a matter of 2-3 months or 4 months. So this is why our experience in normal situation is that it might take about 1 year before the beneficiary can get the K-1 visa and come to the United States. I repeat, in normal situations. Today, nothing is normal anymore, and we don't know how much longer it might take them at the present time to do all the security checks. They are talking now about reviewing all the social medias like Facebook and other ways, or YouTube, Facebook, and other things. And God knows how long it may take them now to approve a K-1 visa.
You've heard from Attorney Jack Golan, and if you were to consult with him for free, that's free initial consultation, call him now at 213-383-3222. We'll be back for more information about immigration law on Aweetv. That's Immigration Update on the Air.